What's the 3-day pattern?
3-day pattern is Coimbatore layover, day 1. So Bombay, Coimbatore, Coimbatore, Bombay, Bombay, Coimbatore. Coimbatore layover. Then Coimbatore, Hyderabad, shuttle, 4 sectors.
Hello everyone, welcome back to India's #1 pilot podcast. Today we are going to discuss about a month in an airline pilot's life.
Yeah.
And I think last episode, like the previous episode, we had one of the episodes where we both went out speaking about what's going in our aviation life and how do we spend our days in and out of like flights with families and all of those things. It was a very raw conversation.
Right.
And I think people loved it and they want more insights about that thing, because at the end they want to know, like once they complete their journey of the training, the airline interview, and once they become an airline pilot, is it really worth it or not?
Right. How it is really to be like an airline pilot. Absolutely. I get it. And then today, so what we were doing to shape our next month was to build our roster for the next month. So at least we have to do before 15th of I haven't bid until now, but this month you asked me to do it. So hopefully we get holidays on the same days and then we are able to do more of these podcasts next month, in the month of July.
So generally there's a myth or notion among the parents or students that pilot don't have a family life. Right. They stay away from the family for a long period of time, and they hesitate to send their kid for pilot training. And students also have that concern, okay, I want to stay with my family. So do I have to stay away from my family if I become a pilot, or will I be able to attend my friend's birthday, my family's birthday, my anniversary, and all of those things?
Right.
So as a pilot, if you plan properly everything in advance for the special occasions, then yes, you can get offs on those particular days. Like today, so we were bidding. So as Nilay said, so it's a bidding system where, let's say today, you decide for the next month, like what all days off you want, on what day particularly you want to get finished or get done with duty early, or what layers you want to go for. Let's say you want to meet a friend in Jaipur. Okay, so you bid a layover request for Jaipur. So it's not 100% that you'll get that layover. The chances of getting a Jaipur layover is higher. And I'm just giving an example. So that's how we plan our schedule a month in advance, so that whatever plans we have, we make it happen.
Absolutely. So we did bid our leaves as well as we did bid for our layovers. I've bid for what?
Don't remember.
some different country. So I bid randomly that I was like, which is this country? And apparently we go to that country and there are flights from Mumbai to that country recently started.
Yeah, I think Tbilisi is...
No,
Almaty.
No, you bid for Almaty.
Okay.
I bid for what? Some... I don't know what I bid for. I bid for something.
Do you bid for this Azerbaijan?
No.
Tashkent?
Yeah. That's what I bid for. So, don't even know where the place is now. Before the flight, I'll definitely know.
So that is, I guess, the new destinations which they have added from Mumbai. And as next month, as I'm moving to Mumbai, so in my bidding process, all the destinations are from Mumbai. So I've placed bid for Almaty and Seychelles.
Nice.
So yeah.
Right. So there's no certainty that we
Huh.
will be getting any of those, but yeah, we have asked for it, we have bid for it, so probably we will get it. Likely, yeah. And I mean, it's not certain at all. That's
Yeah. So how the process works is like you have to place certain number of bids. So one bid may be okay, you want layover in Dubai. Second bid would be you want a layover in Jaipur. Third bid would be you want it off on, let's say, 8th of July. Then let's say later on the month you want, some days you want to get finish or get off work in the first half, so you place bid for that. So like that you can place 10 bids, and then there is a system, so it's all computerized. So when your roster comes out, it takes into consideration all of your bids, and whatever is available they'll try to allot it to you. That's
and
how
this
it
varies,
works.
yeah, absolutely. This varies company to company.
Hmm.
Okay, but at least for us, that is how
Hmm.
it
Yeah.
is.
I mean, it's a great tool to
Yeah.
plan things in advance if some important events are happening in one's life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. That's what it is. Last month, bro, for me, it was all leaves because my leaves were expiring. So I had to take all the leaves before July. So I got the whole month of May off, the whole month. Did a road trip to Leh. So that's what I did.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, yeah, it was pretty sick. Like Delhi, Katra, Srinagar, Sonmarg, Leh, Leh to Manali on the way, the whole Himalayas, the
Mhm.
Sarchu and all of that.
Wow,
It was
nice.
it was pretty cool. So that's what we did, I and the wife. And yeah, then back, and after coming back, right after I had IRPPC.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So yep, that's what it is. You have IRPPC coming up, right?
Yes, I do have. It's just 2-3 weeks away, and I'll just start studying for it again.
Yeah.
So, just out of curiosity, just want to know. So, let's say you have done road trips in the past, right?
Yes.
So, what was your perspective before you have worked as an airline pilot, and after you have worked as an airline pilot in that road trip? Like, was it the same thing, or was it the safety factor was way higher in the later one when you after you become a pilot?
Yeah. First road trip that I did was on bike. That was
Okay.
in 2012.
Hmm.
Now you can imagine how much of a risk that there is when you travel by a bike.
Hmm.
And at that time, my first bike was a Honda CBR 250. That was my
Okay.
first bike.
Nice.
Okay. And on that bike, I bought it. And within 1 week, we left for. I mean, I knew how to ride. I didn't learn how to ride on
On the
CBR
trip.
250. Okay. I knew how to ride way before that. But I didn't have a bike of my own. So as soon as I bought that bike, then we went on the Leh trip. And it's like back in time, the riding was like there's no tomorrow. Obviously, there was protective gear and everything and all of it for sure. But you know how? So 2012, it's like 20-year-old, yeah. Like what is 20 or 2012, 2013? Yeah, 2013, 21-year-old. So risk assessment is, yeah, you need the risk assessment to be deliberately added. Yeah. So riding like there's no tomorrow, cornering full all the way. It was the awesome, amazing. It was a great trip, and luckily it turned out to be safe and nothing happened. But that was more of a luck than it being the risk assessment. Now, if I would, I'd not do that road trip on a bike. I did it on in a car. And then, as you mentioned, the safety and risk assessment. Risk assessment after becoming a pilot is way enhanced. It's you see to it that everything is safe. You see to it that even if a person who's a non-pilot won't see any risk in doing something, we would say that, okay, that's a hazard.
Yes.
That's a real hazard, that if you keep it like simple things like which are simply good practices, right? If you are driving, do not keep loose bottles. Loose bottles can slide under the floor, can get under the brake. But people know this. Nobody would take it seriously. So it's knowing it, still not doing it. You get it? Matlab, that would be willing non-adherence to the procedures. Right? So yeah, as a pilot, you don't do those things. Then second part would be, when I went for the first time, we stayed in Sarchu. We stayed in, and then we would just rest on those different passes. Okay, so there's multiple passes when you come from Leh or go from Manali to Leh or go from Leh to Manali. There's multiple passes. These are 17,000, 18,000 feet high. For us, if the cabin altitude goes 17, 18,000 feet, then we are like, this is emergency descent.
Yes.
Right? If cabin altitude goes that high, it's like emergency descent, dude.
Yeah.
But you're literally at that altitude, staying up there. And back in time, didn't know all of these things. So our friends were just chilling there and then sleeping there on those passes. Then I and Karan, we are just changing things on the bike. Bro, you are at 17,000 feet. Okay. Conserve the energy, conserve the oxygen, get to lower altitude as soon as possible. That should be the goal. And then we had literally blue fingers. Okay. And we are laughing at each other. Okay, blue fingers. Had no clue that hypoxia can be that serious. Right now, how we managed it. So I and the wife, we were actively monitoring. We had the oximeters and everything. So the risk assessment is now. The wife may feel that why is he so paranoid over this? But no, it is important. It is hypoxia is serious, because what is the first sign of hypoxia? If you have studied air regulations and human factors, sense of well-being is the first sign. You feel everything's good. Apna life set hai. That is the first sign. And if in that sign, in that euphoria, or in that sense of well-being, someone underestimates the real clinical or actual medical signs of hypoxia, which can be life-threatening, then that really can be life-threatening. So with respect to hypoxia, with respect to driving, with respect to many things, it is a lot different. Absolutely.
So I also have done that trip.
Right.
Like it was like from Leh to Nubra Valley.
That's the
Lake, Bangkok Lake, and all of those things. So that was on a bike. Okay, and that was like before starting my training. And after that, I didn't get much time to go for a trip or something.
Right.
But yes, safety-wise, I also feel that. Or I would say a significant improvement of focus on the safety aspect.
Definitely.
So whenever you see, so earlier, like you said, we are like in my 20s, and then we engage in like road rage and stuff. We try to see what the bike can reach max speed and all of those things. But now we are like, I'm like, okay, 80, 100 is good. There's no point of going above 100. Okay, so that's the change of mindset or something like that, which
absolutely
got it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then I was like, now if you want to race, go to the racetrack and then race. There's no point.
Absolutely. To be honest, nowadays I rarely ride because of that reason. Because even if you may be skilled, but these roads are different. So now luckily I happen to have a really good bikes, but I still don't ride it. When was the last time we rode those two bikes?
I think more than a year.
Yeah. And that is exactly the last time I rode I haven't ridden the bike after that. Today we can do it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, but many pilots are into bike riding.
Yes. I mean, so my parents again and again, like if I'm going on a bike, they're like, drive slowly or ride slowly.
Yeah.
You are a pilot, you know that what are the risks involved?
Yeah.
What if you get into an accident and all of those things? So there is a sense of worry in parents as well. So let's say when anyone is choosing a pilot career, okay, so back of the mind there is like, so what if any unfortunate event happen in our life?
Right.
So then after that, what will you do? And what are the chances of that happening?
Right.
So for that, what advice would you give the parents or the students?
So with respect to medical, you're saying, or you're saying about while flying incident?
So let's say, as I give my example, that if I'm going in a car, it's okay, no restrictions, this whole thing.
Yeah.
But if I am going on a bike, they'll tell me every time, okay, don't ride fast, okay, look left, right, and there's no need to rush, all of those things. And then they are like, okay, you are a pilot, you know, you have to be fit, all of those things. So mostly parents have this notion that, okay, you are a pilot, okay, you have to be fit, okay. How many cases or what percentage of pilot become unfit due to this unfortunate accident?
Okay. So see, it's bike riding or super bike riding. Now back in time it was CBR 250, now it is 1,000. Okay, super bike riding is again falls under adventure sport. It is an adventure. Adventure is taking voluntary risk. There is a fair amount of risk associated with bike riding, without a doubt. Okay. And as we understand, as we have grown up now, and we would like to consider ourselves as responsible persons, we try to evaluate what's the risk and reward. So the reward there is adrenaline, right?
Yeah.
Riding a bike is, we have other options. Okay, we can go by flight, we can go by car, we can go by bike, or maybe walking. Okay. There's other options, right? But we just do it for the reward of adrenaline, right? That's the reward essentially. Now, if we evaluate the risks right, and if we try to be safe, and if we have demonstrated to our parents in the past that we have been safe, then the likelihood of them trusting is... So back in time when I had gone to Leh, my parents didn't know.
Okay.
Okay.
So what did you tell them? Where are you?
I'm just going on a trip.
Okay.
Not a bike trip.
Not the location.
They didn't even know I had a bike.
Okay.
Because I wasn't allowed to buy a bike. Okay. So I had saved up money and I bought a bike. Okay.
Nice. They'll know after this podcast, or they already know.
No, they
know now.
That bike they know. The super bike they still don't know.
Okay, nice. But now they'll know.
Yeah. I don't know if they watch the podcast.
Okay.
Well, they are not willing to become pilots, right? So they don't watch it probably. I don't know if they do. If they do, then okay, I'm in a little bit of corner. Yeah. So, no, they don't know either of those two bikes.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's it. See, what I have understood over a period of time is like, I'd like to say that my parents are very much, they have given me good freedom. but that started only after one, I started earning, and second, after I demonstrated that I'm a responsible person.
Okay.
I never came home drunk, not being able to speak. I never drunk called my parents, okay? Or I've never been in a situation where they would have to like really rescue. So like some serious threat. So eventually they started to feel कि ठीक है, this guy makes decisions that keeps him alive. So I've never done drugs in life. So yeah. And the same, you can say the same things.
Yes,
right?
definitely. Yeah.
Like our parents trust us because we have helped them trust us.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a give and take, right? That's what you behave something in a responsible manner. In return, what we get is their trust. So yeah,
makes sense.
All right. So that was about my last month, bro. How about you?
Mine was pretty busy, I would say, because I think I had a week off. Plus, I had around 70 hours of flying in the 3 weeks. So it was pretty much packed. Went to a couple of places. Okay. And there was one flight which was caught up in crazy weather. Okay. So it's doing from let's say Dubai to Kochi. Coming back into Kochi, as you know, the monsoon have already reached the south part of India.
West of Sayadri mountain range.
Yes.
It's that is.
And Mumbai also last week had good rains, right?
Yeah.
So en route on that flight, there was weather. Okay. Manageable pretty much. But coming into Kochi around afternoon time, or let's say afternoon evening time, around 4-5 p.m. You know, when this whole thing gets built up and like moderate to heavy turbulence as well. Okay, and you don't have much option, as you can't deviate much, because let's say if the squall line is like 100 200 miles, you can't go 200 miles to the right and then go. You have to find a patch where the intensity would be minimum.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then penetrate to it and go. So that was a layer. We got through it, and then I witnessed one of the best approaches so far in aviation. Okay, so when we were on the finals at Kochi airport, okay, I could see that it has started raining over the airfield, and the airport is covered half in rain and half in sunlight. Okay, so that was a sight to remember. And I'll ask Harsh I'll just describe everything here, and then I'll ask our editors to just create an animation if possible. Okay, so we could see that, okay, half of the airport is into heavy showers, half of it is into sunlight. Okay, now as and when we are into the approach, midway, the rain has touched like 3/4 part of the runway. And then as soon as we come down for the touchdown, so it was like rain and the aircraft on touchdown met. And then you can't see anything on the shield. And then we slowly vacated the runway and taxied back very slowly, because that shower lasted for around 15 to 20 minutes. And it was very heavy with winds and all of those things. So let's say if we were a minute late or something, we had to go around. And in case we went go around, we would be in the weather. We would immediately require a deviation to the left or right, because we can't climb into the weather. Okay, so that was one of the most memorable approach I've done so far. It was very good. I don't know, like the incident I'm describing, what
I could
like if you
visualize
can
it.
visualize.
Yeah, I could visualize it. Hopefully, y'all as well.
Yes, but
do
don't
visualize
worry.
it.
If you guys, like, we know that you haven't been in the cockpit so far. So what we'll do is we'll try to
Yeah.
make an animation if possible.
Yeah.
Okay, that was one part, and second was in Bhubaneswar. So you know, mostly during this time in northeast or the eastern coast of India, there's a phenomena called Kal Baisakhi. Okay, so in which there's a cloud. Let's say, imagine there's a cloud. Okay, and then the thunderstorm is the outline of that cloud. Okay, so you see the lightning. So lightning of the cloud is the outline of the cloud. So I was flying the aircraft, and then
this was nighttime or
this was nighttime.
Okay,
You can see lightning during that particular thing during the night. It's called Kal Baisakhi. So the captain told me, see this lighting, observe. And I saw it was a sight. It was a beautiful sight. So there's a cloud, and then only, like, you know, the photo frame which has an LED light, just the strip is shining.
Right.
So the photo frame, you can replace it with cloud, and the LED light with lightning. So that was the Kal Baisakhi. So what we read in this thing, okay, so we do see as well in real life. So that is why Met. So Met is vast, okay? Yeah. It is difficult to remember each type of cloud. Yeah. But then with experience, you do tend. So now I have seen Kal Baisakhi. How is it? So next time I see it, I'll remember, okay, this is Kal Baisakhi and these are the effects and all of those things. Right. But that sight was a truly, I don't know how to even describe it. It was like so good to watch.
I haven't actually much operated those eastern part of India flights. Because Bhubaneswar I've done. Bhubaneswar, Bombay has Bhubaneswar pattern.
But the routing is different. Yeah. So you fly towards the west directly, and I follow
towards
the coast.
The east.
Towards the west, right? From Bhubaneswar to Mumbai.
Acha, okay, I'm saying from here to... Yeah.
So this phenomena is mostly on the eastern coast. So for you, from Bhubaneswar to Mumbai, you go towards the west. So for us, it's Bhubaneswar, you come down to Vizag and you follow the coastline, and then you go to Bangalore.
Right. Yeah, because India's tapering in the...
So mostly on the eastern coast, you find this phenomena. Right. And I think for western coast, it's like heavy pour down in the month of July. Starts in the month of July or July and something like that.
Yeah. Actually, but the point is, May and June, even April for some part of April, which is pre-monsoon. Pre-monsoon southern part of India, the winds are crazy. Like it's gusting right, left, center. Like seriously, that's especially in the afternoon times. It's like... So
it's gusting plus thermals.
Yeah.
And especially a period from, let's say, it starts around 12 to 2 is the most challenging part to keep the aircraft on the profile during an approach.
Right. After starting line flying, then doing the simulator, then simulator landings feel like this is very easy, dude. Because actual aircraft landings are nice, no doubt about it. It's amazing and it's fun, and those happen to be good for the most part. That is great. At the same time, there is active change of inputs at all times, because winds are not constant. In sims, whatever Sim the preset winds are given, those won't change all the way until touchdown. But when we go in actual flying, the winds are constantly changing. The direction is changing, the speed is changing. Everything is just...
So it's random, and in simulator, there's a set value. So that's the difference.
Yeah.
So I think sim is mostly used to learn the correct flare and landing technique. Okay. So once you learn that, then you can do it on an aircraft. So that's the whole purpose of simulator.
अभी RPPC के लिए गया था, तो तभी one engine out landing, one engine in operative landing. ऐसे मक्खन. It's like this. ये तो बहुत आसान है. That's what it is. So yeah, Kochi. I'm doing Mangalore tomorrow. Then I'm doing Delhi, and then I'm again doing Mangalore. Then I have a 3-day pattern. That's what.
You have a Delhi low or Delhi back?
Delhi back.
What was the 3-day pattern?
3-day pattern is Coimbatore layover, day 1. So Bombay, Coimbatore, Bombay, Coimbatore. Coimbatore layover. Then Coimbatore, Hyderabad shuttle, 4 sectors.
4 sectors.
Coimbatore, Hyderabad, Coimbatore, Hyderabad, Coimbatore. So at Coimbatore we'll do Hyderabad. At Hyderabad we'll do Coimbatore. Just kidding, guys. Yeah. So no, yeah, just messing. Okay. And then again Coimbatore layover. 28-30 hours Coimbatore layover. Then Bombay shuttle, 3 sectors.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 days off.
Yeah, that's a long one. And then I'm doing a Bangalore layover. I'm coming to Bangalore, but it's a short one. It's 15-16 hours.
What date?
I think 20. You are going for IRPPC.
Acha, 25th or something. Okay. Alright.
You're going for IRPPC.
So you have asked me. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
What patterns you have coming up?
I am off for a week. So I'm just going to relax.
Yeah, I did that
sleep.
last month, so I hear you.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of a bit strange because earlier, let's say if I have no work or let's say I have offs or something like that, the intention is always to plan a trip somewhere. So last month also I had a week off, so I was just at home. So this month also I have a week off, so I'm at home. I'm not feeling the urge to travel. I'm like, I just want to come back at home, sleep, eat food, go out, go work out in the gym, play sports, something like that.
Yeah.
Work with the couple of businesses and all of those things.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is it happening? Like, it's nothing. So I'm like, okay.
So, because we don't get to sleep at a specific time every day, right? Even in the month of May, the whole month off, because last year I had not taken any. This late trip was 6 days.
Okay.
6 to 7 days. Rest of the 20 days, I was exactly what you said. Home. Okay. Work for CNTAA. Okay. And sleep. That's all I have done.
Okay. Nice.
And we shot 2 podcasts last month. That's, yeah.
Nice.
Then CNTAA student meetings and all that was there. So, yeah.
All the layovers which I get, the international, I feel I'm going on a trips only. Like it is, let's say, even if it's 20 hours, there's a change of environment and everything for that 20 hours. So you do get 6 to 8 hours to explore that location and stuff. And then after that, you feel like, okay, you have done a good part of traveling. Right. And this happens like 2 to 3 times a month.
Yeah.
And even if you're going on a domestic layover, if that layover is more than 20 hours or 24 hours, you do go out, meet with friends, or mostly whenever I'm on layover, what I type in Google is best street food places or vintage street food places. So I like trying food places which are running on for hundreds of years. You know, that recipe, that taste and everything. So that's what I do mostly on layovers.
The cuisine that's been going on for
generations.
Generations. And there's also this, right? What is travel? Travel is an experience. How do we experience? We experience with our senses. we see,
Hmm.
we see the nature, we see the city, we see the architecture,
Hmm.
we hear,
Hmm.
we listen to the local music, we listen to the local language,
Hmm.
try to understand it. Sometimes we
Hmm.
do, sometimes we don't.
Hmm.
Okay. That is, we hear, we taste
Hmm.
the food, right?
Yeah.
Different. So
Hmm.
that is travel,
Travel,
the
yeah.
experience of travel. But my friend, you get layovers. When you get married,
Hmm.
your wife may or may not get those layovers. So you will have to travel for her. Okay.
So who says no to travel? When did I say no?
So those are the nice perks, like getting to see different cities and all. And there are certain cities that we may not even plan on traveling to,
Hmm.
but our layovers make us travel to, and sometimes we happen to like those cities, right? So I don't even know the city that I have bid for that we randomly bid for today. But if if we do get that flight, then yeah, that'll be awesome, right? Yeah. So speaking of which, those are the good side. The difficult part is one most difficult part about this career is sleep. Apart from that, the downside is we don't see as much, at least as of now, in sleep. Being able to sleep at a specific hour and being able to wake up at a specific hour, that luxury we do not have, right? We have given up on that luxury. So you are a person who is very well health conscious. You exercise well, you do many things. So how do you manage your sleep with this?
So to manage my sleep, first of all, I do a reverse calculation, limit the use of white light, strategic use of caffeine, and have your meals 2 to 3 hours prior to your sleep time. Then there are some apps which tells you when to sleep, what time to sleep, and all of those things. So speaking about the number one thing is reverse calculation. So let's say if your flight is at 12 a.m. midnight, you reverse calculate at, let's say, 12 p.m. or in the afternoon. You have your lunch and then limit the use of white light. Okay, so if you're using your phone, use it in night mode. If you have white LEDs running at your home, you can switch to a warm light color that will help you. And around 3 to 4 o'clock, try to go to sleep. Okay, so that you wake up by 11.
Yeah.
Okay, so this will only happen or sleep. You can only sleep at that particular time if you have woken up early at that time, let's say 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. Okay, so that is how the reverse calculation works. So make sure your room is dark enough. There's no
A blackout
white light.
curtains.
Yes, blackout curtain. So blackout curtain so that you get a good sleep, or you can use a sleeping mask. Okay, that helps.
Yeah.
And then if you are like, let's say if anyone is having coffee or likes to have coffee, make sure you don't have coffee like at least 6 hours or 8 hours before you plan to go to bed. Okay, otherwise you won't be able to sleep, or you won't be able to get a good quality sleep.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The reason I'm drinking this today is because I have to sleep. So
yeah, makes sense. And then there are certain apps which helps you to track your sleep, and certain apps, if you load your flight schedule, they also tell you what time is the best time to go to bed.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
So there's one app called as Time Shifter.
Time shifter. Yeah,
Yes,
time shifter I have. Yes.
Yes.
I did not use it, but I do
Okay.
have time shifter.
So you can add your flights in that.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yes, you can add your whole schedule, but you have to manually do it.
Okay.
There's no like auto from the
Export
roster.
from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because basically that app was designed for passengers to manage jet lag.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But if you give your schedule to that app, It will tell you what would be the best time to go to sleep. And there's one more app called as Rise. So that app is very accurate, but you have to wear a device on your hand while sleeping.
Rise.
Yes, Rise.
Okay.
So that app, so it took data from my phone for the previous 3 months.
Have you used it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I've used it. So then it gives you a sleep debt calculation. So let's say if we are not getting a quality sleep, it gives you, let's say 25. So when I installed that app, I had like 25 hours of debt. So 25 hours I was lacking sleep because of my sleep pattern, whatever it was. So I didn't even know at that point of time that, okay, this is something I have to worry about because I was feeling normal. But this all parameters helps everyone in the long run. It's not a short term. Right now, even if we like skip a night, it won't harm us. Okay. But this all are small things which will add up in the long run.
But next day performance is deteriorated
So now that 22 hours is brought down to 4 hours. Okay. Even if I'm doing flights, that has reduced a lot significantly. So these are the apps or these are the methods we can use.
So this works with iWatch? Or
yes, any device.
No, the Rise?
Rise works, you have to wear a device, be it an iWatch or any watch or any device which can track your sleep.
Okay. Right.
So
I was
that's
thinking
how it
of
is.
that Whoop device. I don't know if it is.
Whoop is, it's good. I mean, it tracks everything perfectly. But what I felt is it's mostly designed for athlete and it will be like too much for us. So a basic iWatch or basic Android watch helps.
Okay. Not the iWatch. I do have iWatch previous generation, 9th or something like that. But it's like to routinely charge it. And that's and then to wear it while sleeping, it's, I don't know. I might have
I wear it while sleeping.
Yeah, I might have to make myself used to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm used to it. I always wear the watch just to track. So it gives me a lot of parameters. Okay. So I was discussing, so when you're on a long flights, okay, if someone is into fitness or well-being, okay, you tend to discuss all these things. So I was flying with one captain. So he told me, so earlier how I used to go to workout was directly go there. Okay. Do as hard workout as possible. Okay. But then he told me an insight. Let's say you check your sleep. Okay. How many hours you have slept. And in that there is a heart rate while you are sleeping. Okay. So there has to be a certain number or certain. So let's say if you are, if that heart rate is higher when you are sleeping. Okay. You should rest the next day. You should not go to the gym. Okay. So I don't know if you have read the news. There are multiple heart attacks of people going to the gym when they work out heavy and all of those things. So he told me whenever this is the condition, then you should rest. When you are properly rested, your heartbeat would be stable. It won't go up, down. And I noticed that thing. Like whenever my heart rate is up while sleeping, okay, and I didn't go to the gym. I stopped going to the gym after that. So that is how like small, if someone is experienced, that would help. I mean, this is not an advice. This is just what I have gained knowledge from some experts. Okay. And then I went and read all of those things. So this is not an advice. This is what we can do. So if you want...
this is what you do.
What I do. That's it.
And that's because even the sleep and all that is what we do for ourselves. Okay. It's not a medical advice or anything because sometimes it's like, there is not enough sleep. So what you do is simply calculate 1 hour of sleep will keep us awake for 2 hours.
Okay.
So if the duty time is going to be 12 hours, we need at least 6 hours of sleep.
Correct.
Otherwise, it is not really good to go for that flight. That is simply, that is how it is. So 6 hours of sleep for 12-hour duty time. If the 2 sectors is there, then duty time is 6 hours. I'm not saying sleep only for 3 hours, but that is the bare minimum that one has to have in order to And that is right before the
flight.
So reporting, that is what it is. Because it's like okay, let's not get into the ad in the scene build up and the whole story of it.
How the caffeine works.
Yeah. And yeah, and second would be the supplements like melatonin, or I don't take those. I don't.
Yeah, I also so I prefer mostly all the natural ways. I'm like not dependent on any supplements for any of those things, because once you start giving your body external supplements, the body stops producing its own.
Exactly.
And then you have to take, if you don't take it,
right,
you won't be able to fall asleep. So I try and avoid using
So I have a friend who takes a lot of melatonin. Okay. He's not a pilot. Okay. Pilots are all safe people and sane people. Don't do it. Okay. And then he takes almost a gram of caffeine every day.
After melatonin?
So before sleeping, he would take melatonin. After waking up, he would take a caffeine.
Okay.
So it's like loading the system on both sides. It's like you load on a seesaw. If we load 100 kg man on the right side and 100 kg man on the left side, or probably 1000 kgs if we keep 1000 kg weight on the right and the left, it'll remain at the same. But the person won't feel sleepy or energetic. Probably the seesaw will break. Right? That's the point. So I don't take melatonin. I take a lot of caffeine though. Probably 200 to 300 grams of caffeine, but that's what my body has
milligrams.
Milligram. mg na
grams bola.
nahi re mar jayega re main. I'll be dead. Rest in peace, Nilay. Yeah, that is what will happen if I do that. Okay, correction, milligrams, not grams. Yeah, that's what it is, guys. That's what the monthly. Yeah, this is how we talk to each other. That's when this is not specially any show or podcast or anything. These are the things that we would talk to each other. Then we'd talk to each other the things about CNTA students, and then their parent meetings and all of those things. That's what we do talk to each other about. Then certain students' performance with respect to something, that is what we talk about. Yeah, that's what it is. And I think that's all for this podcast.
Yes, and if you like this version of podcast, I would say it's like a very raw conversation between two pilots. Then let us know in the comment section so we can come up with monthly raw conversations. And
one podcast like this.
One podcast a month. And if you want Capt.Neha to involve in this raw podcast, then do let us know in the comment section.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she has a lot of knowledge to share, to be honest. So we'll do the technical, non-technical that kind of podcast. Next two podcasts will be technical, non-technical, and about becoming a pilot and the intricacies of it. We haven't yet discussed or detailed the plan of action for next two podcasts, but next two podcasts are scheduled for the shoot in next 2 weeks. So that's what it is.
Okay. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you for watching, viewing, subscribing, guys.